Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
EVO. The following podcast contains tales of violence, sex, drugs, and a little bit of rock and roll, but is certainly not suitable for all listeners, so discretion is advised. Okay, so remember last episode, Adam gets fired. His cousin fires him in his own hallway. He gets in his face, pointing his finger, and all Adam's thinking is if this guy touches me, I'm gonna cut his fucking hands off. So now he's on his own. He's building up his business, he's working with other people, and I don't want to give away too much. Let's just get into it.
So now I'm on my own. I got customers, only a few. What can you do with me? I didn't have a spot, my cousin had the spot. He doesn't sell ounces, that's why he didn't like it. He hated it. You know, back in the days, there was no cell phone. So I had a 914 beeper. So I had my customers calling me there. They call me, Adam, we want an ounce. But I'm talking about a customer that he'll call me today, he'll probably call me tomorrow, but then he'll probably call me a month later. And sometime you'll never see that customer again. And they beat me, they meet me at a certain place. It's like an appointment. And then you meet with them. I miss the action. I miss all these customers, all this rush, all this coke around me. And, when you're selling an ounce today and an ounce a week later, you're not moving enough stuff. You're going to have problems. But all of a sudden, again, someone calls me. The other side of the family calls me and said, your cousin, Chick, wants to talk to you. I say, really? He knows the street well. He's good. So, this is different. And my cousin goes, I need you. So I say, what's the problem? He said, I heard you got balls, and there's certain guys in the neighborhood that's giving me problems. I don't want to be involved. I don't want you to go shooting people around, but I know with your personality that will respect you. You know how to get along with everyone. That's like a Jamaican neighborhood, but it's a mixture of blacks and Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. So you gotta have that, be able to get along with everyone. And I had that.
Diplomacy, man. Right there is partly what distinguishes Adam from the pack. The charm, the riz, the savoir-faire, the charisma to get along. That charm is currency on the street. It's a frequency you can't fake. You got it or you don't. Does that make him a psychopath? Of course not. But it is part of the landscape that creates a career criminal.
So, okay, what do you want me doing? He says, I want you, working out with 2 other cousins, then we can move on. So I say, and how much I'm getting paid? He goes, you're gonna get a share. We move all the stuff, we move whatever, we move 100 kilo, 50 kilo, 3 kilos, or 1 kilo, it don't matter. But whatever profit we make, you get a percentage depending on how long you've been working with us and depending on what are you doing. I say, okay, it sounds good. So I thought to myself, I'm not losing my customers because I still got my customers. But at the same time, I'm making money here with this guy. This is a grocery store just like the one on Lower East Side, but a huge grocery store. It has like 3 aisles, huge, full of Pampers and milk and all kinds of shit. It's nice, it's good. You have a huge fridge full of beers, but it's a spot. It's not really a grocery store. This is a business my aunt built with a lot of sweat and hard work. My aunt is a legit woman, hardworking since the fucking 60s in this country. But her kids are already big guys. They're grown-ups. She's tired. She's retiring. So she goes to Dominican Republic, leave the stores to these kids.
Kids in those days. So was the aunt legit? Did her kids just turn her store into a drug spot and risk getting it shut down? This is another glimpse into the criminal mindset of consequence. The whole intentions versus actions conflict. I'll be taking these Pampers here and a couple ounces of blow. How is that kosher? I'll tell you one thing. Adam sure's got a lot of cousins, and they keep calling him, and calling him. He just told us why. He's got balls. But more importantly, it's nepotism. Huh? I know you thought that shit only went down in show business and with florists. Nope. Alive and well in the drug trade, man.
So now I'm working for this cousin of mine, but I have my customers. But he doesn't mind. He got plenty of customers. As a matter of fact, he doesn't have enough stuff to sell these guys. But I have customers, but I also got connection. You could call me sort of a politician. My cousin was a good salesman. He was not a good politician. He couldn't find a good connection like that. I could talk to the ghettoest guy in the block, but I can also talk to the highest rank in a family of a mafia guy. So sometimes my cousin cheat goes, look, we don't have nothing. It's empty. We don't have nothing in the spot. Say, you don't mind if I call someone and get some stuff? So he goes, no problem. Just help me out. Say, fine. I grab the phone, call, beep this guy. This guy calls me back. What's up? Can you get this? He goes, no problem. So that impresses my cousin that I was able to do what he couldn't be able to do. So, okay, now I'm getting a higher rank and I'm making good money. But it did really impress me. What really did impress me is a couple of weeks later, he calls me up and he says, okay, we're doing inventory today. I say, inventory? What do you mean inventory? I say, remember what I told you? You're getting paid whatever percentage, but whatever. I say, yeah, today we're doing inventory. We do the numbers in the notebook. There was no computers back then, or cell phones, or anything like that. Every little neighborhood is a different system. And every guy that works drugs and becomes a boss has a different system. And this kid had a different system. I learned from him too. So he goes, okay, Adam. He's like, what, 25,000? Here. I say, shit. I'm not even 2 weeks with this guy. He gives me 25,000. He gives this other cousin even more money because they were being longer time with this guy. And I was like, fuck. Fucking believable. That's fucking real money here. I thought there was no money in Brooklyn, but there is a lot of money in Brooklyn. Goddamn right there is more money. So now I'm saying, wow. So I like it. There's more money. I show up in my house and I told my girl, I just made 25,000. Unbelievable. Now I'm taking off again. All I see is green light. I'm going forward. So my cousin all of a sudden felt like he could trust me because I was a humble guy. Most of these guys that were working with him, they felt they don't want to work grocery store. They want to do drugs, party all night. Then they come to work in the store around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. I was very disciplined. So chick goes, I'm handing you the keys to the store. And I love it. I just fucking love it. Because I get along with the milkman, I get along with the bread guy, I get along with everybody. Okay, so now I'm here, Then there goes the spot again. You work in drugs. You got customers coming in buying 125 grams, half a grams, a whole kilo, half a kilo, 5 kilos, 10 kilos. But again, some fucking shit gotta happen.
I have to break in and say something that Adam didn't say here, but he did tell me when we were together in the DR. He doesn't do drugs. I mean, it's important to know that because I feel it's a big part of why he was so successful. What did Frank Lopez say in Scarface? Don't get high on your own supply? Well, Adam didn't. He didn't get high with anyone else's either. It was business.
Okay, I want to take a second here and talk about addiction. And I'm not talking about shaming drug and alcohol use. That's not my thing. But addictions. Do you have any? Because I do. Cigars. And so does our boy Adam. So much so that he got together with some heavy hitters in the tobacco industry and created his own brand, the 7.5, designed and crafted in the Dominican Republic to commemorate not only the success of the hit documentary, but to celebrate Adam himself. It's rich, full-flavored, bold, pretentious, in your face, like Diaz himself. So look up the Adam Diaz 7.5 cigar sometime soon on the internet, because eventually it will be available for you to get a box for yourself and see that sometimes crime does pay.
The road to the NBA Finals ends here, with star guards setting the tone. The Cavs eye another upset, while the Knicks carry the dreams of all of New York. The Eastern Conference Finals continue on ESPN and ABC.
Hey, I'm Bruce.
And I'm Jeff. We're here to tell you a little about our new podcast called Taboo Treasures. We explore the human obsession with objects of extreme rarity and infamy.
Here's a little snippet of our episode called Heavenly Sneakers.
San Diego Sheriff's deputies stumble into a house of death filled with dozens of bodies, the site of a grim mass suicide.
But what really stood out to me was seeing the sneakers underneath the sheets that had the white Nike swoosh on them.
The leader was a guy named Marshall Applewhite.
I'm from Kingdom Level Above Human.
It's not exactly every day you plan the simultaneous suicide of 39 people. So in the weeks leading up to it, he knew he'd have to come up with a little checklist.
What was number 1?
Convince 38 people to commit suicide.
Number 2.
Figure out how to kill 38 people.
Number 3. What should we wear? We hope you'll join us and learn a little and maybe even laugh a little while we tell you some of the stories behind the stories you only think you know.
EVO.
New York City in the 1980s was a war zone. I know because I was there. The murder rate was the highest in the country, and the war on drugs was raging throughout the 5 boroughs. The culture was being infiltrated with new wave rock, Basquiat, Warhol, soap operas, crooked cops, and crack cocaine. Enter young Adam Diaz. Fresh off the beaches of the Dominican Republic, he saw the cool in all the crime. And with a little help from his family, Adam became the boss of the Diaz organization, paying off dirty cops, protecting his turf, and moving 300 to 400 kilos a week for the Medellin cartel, all before his 20th birthday. Join me as I go mano a mano with Diaz, and you'll see for yourself how this kid from the DR became the king of Brooklyn. I'm Ash Adams, and this is The Culture of Criminal Cool.
We're rolling, we're making money, everything is nice and dandy. Every night we go party. All of a sudden, New York police comes in and raided the place. And I happened to be in there. They put me against the floor. They got every boy in there against the floor. But guess what? We had a nice operation. They couldn't find shit. It was right under their nose, and they couldn't find it. Back then, we had these hiding places. But most of the stuff, like the kilos and all this whole bunch of stuff, it was not there. It was like a couple of blocks away in this apartment. You know what I mean? But to immediately take care of a customer that doesn't want much of a quantity, we got this stuff in the store. I was surprised. You know, New York City Police Department brought a dog in there. I think it was a German Shepherd or something like that. And motherfucker couldn't fucking sniff this shit. I don't know how. I guess this shit is well done, well built. Because as soon as the dog came in, I said, oh, we're done. We're done. But it wasn't. So they checked everything out, the basement. They couldn't find no guns, no drugs. But they had names, and they asked for my cuz. As soon as they left, my cuz somehow got a call from one of the neighbors or whatever. All of a sudden, he comes and says, what happened? So we explained what happened. He was like, fuck, I'm screwed. They're looking for me. But they weren't really looking for him. You know what I mean? If they were really looking for him, they wouldn't even fucking mention his name because they want to get him. They just wanted to find something, but they couldn't. The next day, we had a meeting, a huge meeting. In this meeting, my cuz goes, Adam, I'm going to the Dominican Republic. You in charge. But you in charge with a guy named Edward. And he was responsible also. He was a more streetwise guy than I was. In a way that he got more evil in his heart. So we start making crazy money. Fucking 8 kilos a day, making $8,000 on each kilo. But there's always something. There was this supposedly partner that my cousin had named Santana. I love this guy. I get along with him more than with my cousin because he was fun. He liked salsa like me, and he was a fucking boxer. I think if he would have made it in boxing, he would never be a fucking drug dealer. I find out later on he was the one that built that spot with my cousin. But somehow there was a problem, and he thought he had rights, like in any other fucking legit company. He had rights over this business. It wasn't like that. Whether my cousin betrayed him or not, it's none of my fucking business. So my boss comes back from the Dominican Republic 2 months later. Says, show me the books, show me the money. We show him the money, we show him the books. He does the number, whatever the way he does. He gives me like about $40,000. We made a lot of money. This is happening in this apartment upstairs. And chick started having a conversation with the guy, Santana. So I heard the guy saying, this is also my business. This is, we built this spot together and I need my share too. I heard you guys are having a reunion and I know, you're splitting out the money. You're not giving me my share. And so they started arguing. But this greedy motherfucker, Edward, he wouldn't go for it. I wasn't greedy like that. I wouldn't mind giving this guy some of my money and so did the rest of the guys. And I guess, in a way, he was right. Like, we spent this fucking last 2 months covering our asses and doing all this shit to sell and make some money. Where's Santana? He's nowhere to be found. Just because he happened to have share on this fucking business? Is this a legit business? And it's not.
Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Like most towns, New York City loves a winner. Now, people are coming out of the woodwork to claim their piece of Adam's action. And more often than not, in Adam's line of work, if someone gets greedy or starts to push in where they shouldn't, someone's got to go.
Fucking Santana wanted to fight this guy, Edward. Edward is not taking shit from Santana. They're arguing over money. Remember, I have a gun on me. I have my fucking piece on me. And Edward has a gun too. But this guy, Edward, said, you ain't getting a penny. You ain't getting a penny. I work for this money. And Chick is the boss, and he said, you ain't getting shit. So get the fuck out of here. All of a sudden, Santana jumps on Edward and tries to hit him. Now remember, this guy's a boxer. He goes right into this guy, rushing to hit this guy. He punched him, and they started fighting. But Edward got a fucking black leather jacket, let go of the jacket, pushed him, and somehow escaped from Santana. And then Edward pulls out a gun, pulls out a 9mm. Get it ready to shoot. I pulled my gun out. I looked at Santana and I told him, don't do it. Because Santana is trying to fucking go back to Edward and hit him in the face. but he didn't fucking listen. So Edward goes, boom, boom. Out of 2 shots, he hit him once in the stomach. Hit him right in the stomach. The guy's dropped on the floor. Santana had a brother named Damien right there. And he started running. And Edward goes after this guy. Edward starts shooting Damien. Boom, 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 boom. Several shots. And ran after him. But he couldn't get him. He comes back to Santana to shoot him. To kill him. So I pull out my gun. And I say, you're not doing it. And he looked at me. Because yes, I am. I say, if you kill him, if you take the champ, the next shot is going to be on you. So he looked at me and said, okay, Adam, fine. And he leaves. And I said, yeah, leave. Just fucking leave. So I grabbed Santana, put it in my backseat of my car. I have an LTD. 4 LTD, huge car. 3 of my cousins get in the car and we head for the hospital. So this is the funny part of the fucking story. So we're running over there with him in the car. But I'm taking shortcuts in this car. We're speeding with this guy, bleeding. This guy's crying in the back. Oh, my stomach hurts. Oh. All of a sudden, I turn in a corner, but it's snowing like crazy. There's a lot of fucking snow there. I turn, the car didn't respond. I hit the fucking front gate of another grocery store. It was crazy. I hit the fucking gate. The alarm goes off. Woo, 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 woo. The guy who's getting hurt in the back, Santana goes, what happened, chick? And my cousin goes, fucking Adam just hit the gate or a front gate of a store. He starts laughing. He's got a bullet in his fucking stomach. He starts laughing. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Why? He's laughing. It's like fucking movies. So put reverse, go back, and I head to the hospital. When I get to the hospital, by the time I hit emergency, as soon as I park in the emergency room, everyone disappeared. Everyone. All my cousins, everyone was out. I was the only one left there because I felt like I couldn't leave this guy by himself. The male nurses come in, grab Santana, put it in this fucking thing, take him inside the hospital. So right away, right there, the cops come. Cops that are in the hospital grab me and say, what happened? I say, it's my friend. He got shot in the street. He just got shot. Who shot him? I don't know. He got shot. I happened to be around. I see him and I grab him, put him in a car and bring him over. But they know, they ain't stupid. They say, yeah, but a whole bunch of guys that were in the car that started running. I say, look, I don't, forget it. I didn't realize that when you bring a victim to a hospital, you need to know that you're going to be questioned by the cops.
This is real gangster shit, right? Okay, he's still learning the ropes, but he's on the other side of the looking glass now. Conflict, drama, and violence. What we expect and long for in all criminal cacophony. But Adam also talked about other dealers and how each dealer has their own system. Well, he's starting to realize his system. He's building his own, and he's about to become the boss.